Ladies and gentlemen, honorable judges and fellow debaters, tracking was once the standard of public education in United States, but today it is a controversy regarding its relevance. Consider the pros and cons to the tracking that to decide whether it is a good option or not for our students. And tracking or this ability grouping has already occurred in several different ways. It divides students into high, middle, and low groups that involves a separation of students into different classrooms for an entire school. So, before I start, I would like to define today's definitions motions. So, our today's definition motion is about arranging students based on their academic skills and also based on their ability level rather than on their age. So we as a government or prime minister sides to these motions. Before I start my first argumentations, I would like to tell or to emphasize my key point in this speech. First, legal or illegal of this system. Second, the progress of the students by using this kind of system. And the third one, what is the consequences of using this kind of system? Okay, so our principal parameters of today's motion is in Indonesia. Just take it in sample in Indonesia. So my first argumentations is about maybe people may think about the discriminations, the differentiations between students and others, but I think about the progress of the talented students or smart students. We can see their progress might be obstructed because of they have in the same class with, maybe we can say, someone or students that need individualized attention. And I think even if we think that if we apply these kind of systems, we discriminate people, we differentiate people by their academic skills. But I think before we apply these kind of systems, this kind of discrimination has already existed before. Because according to psychology, people tend to have a friend with someone who has the same ability, same kind of behavior, and same kind of habit to their own self. So I think in the status quo, we can see that students tend to have friends that have the same kind of ability, not only by the talented student, but also the normal students. They tend to have a friend in which they have the same behavior and same ability. So if we include discriminations in this kind of motion, I don't think that this is included and considered as it. And the true discrimination in this motion is that the obstructed progress of the talented or smart student. They cannot improve themselves. I mean, they learn quicker than the others, and they might or have already known the materials in the class. For example, like I take it in samples in the daily life. Yeah, myself, I consider myself as a smart student lah. In this case, yeah, I learn quicker than the others, and then I have already known the materials of today's class materials, and the teachers want to tell and teach the students, the normal students, this kind of materials. I don't think that I can improve myself with this kind of quality of system. Don't you think? And don't you agree too about this kind of things? And let me give another examples of this discrimination that has already existed before. We can see, for example, in our daily life. I like swimming. I tend to have a friend that like to swim. It is very unusual that people tend to have someone that has different connections of level of thinking, because there might be a miscommunications, there might be a misunderstanding when they have a conversation. It cannot be ignored or cannot be neglected that this kind of fact is matter to this kind of case. And I think this case is of course legal. And if you want to say that this case is illegal, I strongly disagree. Because this kind of system just trying to improve the human resources quality by having the homogeneous ecosystem. Just for examples, like we have the students that have a high ability in math. We should put them in the kind of class that have the high ability of math. And if he cannot English, so we put it in the kind of level with his own level. So students can choose their own level and they don't feel they are being discriminated. And I feel it's too idealism if you sacrifice the talented student or if you sacrifice the smart students for the normal students. You have already taken their future. Maybe you have stopped them from improving their self. And we cannot do that as a teacher. So we, government, I strongly agree that if we apply this kind of systems, I believe that we can improve our country human resource quality, not only in academic, but also in our psychology. Because we are practiced to have this kind of limitations of the systems. And if the systems is used properly, I guarantee, I believe that this will be an important systems, an important education systems to entire country, to entire world. But there is some kind of factors that we have to see, that we have to consider. Like this kind of actual compositions of the track that is really important. Like since this kind, it is very difficult to create homogeneous classroom because students inherently tend to learn at different rates regardless of their achievements, level, or ability. So in order to keep a tracking system working as it should, it needs to be reaccessed occasionally so students can be regrouped if it is needed. Yeah. And another factor that affects the success of a tracking program is the degree to which the curriculum is modified for each group. We have to see the curriculum, and it is important for all students to be challenged and to be encouraged to improve. So once again, I want to conclude that our education systems can bring a benefit and can improve the human resource quality. So I beg you to propose. Thank you.